Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah. Louder.
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell that shit.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell.
Show me the money.
Cuba Gooding Jr. was silenced because he spoke out against the industry. All these scandals he's been accused of are simply false accusations, at least according to his brother, Omar Gooding. He believes his brother was targeted by the industry for threatening to expose their sacrifices and rituals. How does an Oscar-winning actor go from the top of Hollywood to seeing his career take such a dramatic turn? It's a question that has kept fans talking for years. Many have wondered whether it all came down to personal choices, or if there was more happening behind the scenes than the public ever knew. Now, Omar Gooding is offering his own perspective, claiming he believes his brother, Cuba Gooding Jr., crossed paths with some very influential people, and says everything changed after that. Those comments are sparking fresh debate and raising even more questions.
Yes, I believe people get targeted, they make the mistake. It's fucking scary, man, because, you know, it's almost like how much power do you want? How much influence do you want to have? And if it goes to your head, they'll take you out any way they can. Some people get...
But Omar Gooding isn't claiming his brother was flawless, not even close. He openly admitted that Cuba Gooding Jr. has always had a larger-than-life personality and loved being out where the action was. According to Omar, that high-energy lifestyle was no secret to anyone who knew him. After winning an Oscar, Cuba quickly reached the highest level of Hollywood success. Big movie roles kept coming, fans couldn't get enough of him, and his career seemed unstoppable. But Omar says the fame also came with non-stop nights out, packed parties, and plenty of attention.
When you're just getting attacked from so many angles. And then they did the Me Too thing where people were coming up and saying, yeah, you attacked me too, and And it's crazy because the last public back and forth that I was in, there were people chiming in that I later found out weren't even real people. Robots and bots and you fake comments and fake accounts and all that type of shit. And it's like, damn, that's crazy.
He even laughed while remembering how he would walk into clubs and hear stories that Cuba had been there the night before, making headlines simply because he was having such a wild time. Even with those stories, Omar insisted that, in his view, none of it pointed to criminal behavior. Instead, he described Cuba as someone whose endless energy and outgoing personality naturally drew crowds and attention everywhere he went, making him hard to ignore. As the interview came to a close, Omar Gooding doubled down on his belief that something bigger may have happened behind the scenes. He described his brother as someone with non-stop energy who loved life and insisted that, in his opinion, Cuba Gooding Jr. never fit the image many people created around him. Omar then hinted that he believes Cuba upset someone influential, but stopped short of explaining exactly why. He said he has his own theories, yet chose not to reveal all of them. According to Omar, everything seemed to change after that point. He claimed Cuba's career, finances, and personal life were hit hard as opportunities suddenly disappeared. Omar described it as a domino effect, saying his brother lost major opportunities and faced serious setbacks that took years to recover from. Even so, he said Cuba has continued rebuilding his career and is now making new professional connections that give him hope for the future. Omar also addressed the legal accusations that brought intense public attention to his brother. He argued that one allegation involving an alleged inappropriate touch at a nightclub was especially confusing from his point of view. He noted that some allegations were dropped, while others continued to shape public opinion regardless of the legal outcomes. He then pointed to one incident in particular that he says people often misunderstand. According to Omar, after Cuba left a generous tip, a waitress kissed him on the cheek, and Cuba responded by grabbing her face, joking that she had missed, and kissing her on the mouth. Omar argued that this moment became one of the incidents at the center of the controversy, saying many people later pointed to it when discussing the case. From Omar's perspective, that story does not match the public image many people have of his brother. He questioned why some continue to define Cuba entirely by that incident, arguing that people often hear only the headline without looking at the full context. At the same time, Omar acknowledged that none of us truly know everything that happens in another person's private life. In the end, Omar made one thing clear. He said he loves his brother, believes in the character he has personally seen over the years, and will continue to stand by him. But he also admitted there are limits to what anyone can know, saying that no family member is present for every moment behind closed doors. That final comment left viewers with one lasting question. Is the full story still missing, or has the public already made up its mind? Omar also weighed in on the rumors connecting Cuba Gooding Jr. to Diddy parties, but his answer may surprise some people. He made it clear that he wasn't willing to defend or accuse anyone over events he never witnessed himself. According to Omar, he simply doesn't know what happened at gatherings he didn't attend, and he refused to speculate beyond that. Even with that disclaimer, Omar returned to the point he feels strongest about. He said he believes celebrities who become influential, or who cross the wrong people, can suddenly find themselves under intense pressure. In his opinion, fame can come with hidden dangers, and sometimes the fallout goes far beyond criticism, leaving careers and reputations hanging in the balance. To close the conversation, Omar Gooding returned to the message he had repeated throughout the interview. He said he believes some public figures can become targets after reaching a certain level of fame or influence. According to Omar, the entertainment industry can be an unforgiving place, and in his opinion, one mistake, or upsetting the wrong people, can completely change a person's future. Omar also made several broader comments about what he believes can happen to powerful celebrities. Some of those remarks reflected his personal views and included claims that are not supported by evidence. His overall point, however, was that fame brings enormous pressure, and that people in the spotlight must constantly navigate difficult challenges. Looking back at what happened to his brother, Omar said there was a period when the criticism felt relentless. From his perspective, the public backlash seemed personal, even though he acknowledged that was simply how it appeared to him. At the same time, he pointed out that Cuba Gooding Jr. has continued to receive support from many fans, saying people still approach him to share how much they enjoyed his performances over the years. Omar also revealed that he disagreed with the way his brother handled the accusations when they first surfaced. According to him, Cuba chose to stay quiet and allow the legal process to play out instead of speaking publicly. Omar admitted that, if he had been in the same situation, he would have responded very differently, saying he would have gone anywhere he could to tell his side of the story. Perhaps the most personal part of the interview came when Omar reflected on how controversy can change relationships. He said difficult moments often reveal who your real friends are, claiming that many people who once seemed close disappeared when the allegations became public. Omar suggested that some may have feared being criticized themselves simply for showing support. With that, the interview came to an end. But the debate surrounding Cuba Gooding Jr., his career, and Omar's claims is unlikely to fade anytime soon. If there's one lesson Omar Gooding says he took away from everything, it's this. In Hollywood, real friends can be hard to find. He suggested that when controversy hits, loyalties are often put to the test, and the people you expect to stand beside you may suddenly disappear. Then came the career collapse that shocked Hollywood. One controversy can seriously damage an actor's reputation. A series of controversies can change a career forever, and that's exactly what many people believe happened to Cuba Gooding Jr. He went from being one of the industry's biggest stars to someone many major studios became reluctant to cast. But Cuba has argued that the story is more complicated than many people realize, saying he believes powerful figures in Hollywood also played a role in his career's decline. That claim continues to divide opinion. Few careers have experienced such a dramatic rise, followed by such a public fall. During the 1990s, Cuba was one of Hollywood's fastest rising stars, and many believed he was on track to become one of the industry's biggest leading men. At the time, expectations were incredibly high, with many predicting an even bigger future ahead. Everything changed in 1996, when Cuba delivered his unforgettable performance as Rod Tidwell in Jerry Maguire. The role became one of the defining performances of the decade, and just a year later, he took home the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Overnight, he became one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. Winning an Oscar can transform an actor's entire career. It often leads to bigger movie offers, greater influence in the industry, and significantly higher pay. For Cuba Gooding Jr., the achievement carried even greater significance, as relatively few black actors had received Academy Awards at that point. It was a career-defining moment that seemed to signal an even brighter future. But as history would later show, the story was only beginning. After winning an Oscar, many believed Cuba Gooding Jr. had reached the peak of Hollywood, and that his biggest roles were still ahead. But instead of opening the door to an even greater career, his momentum slowly began to fade. Major directors continued showing interest, and Cuba became far more selective about the projects he accepted, a strategy many successful actors also follow. According to critics, however, several of the roles he turned down went on to become major hits, while some of the films he chose failed to leave much of an impact. But Cuba has offered a very different explanation. He has argued that Hollywood was no longer making decisions based only on talent or merit, suggesting there were other forces influencing who received the biggest opportunities. That perspective has continued to spark debate among fans and industry observers alike. A woman alleged that during a night out at a bar, Cuba Gooding Jr. approached several women, grabbed them while posing for photographs, and behaved in ways they considered inappropriate. Those allegations became part of the growing controversy that placed the Oscar-winning actor under intense public scrutiny. Throughout the legal battle, Cuba's defense team pushed back against those claims. They argued that he was an outgoing, friendly, and physically expressive person whose actions had been misunderstood rather than intended to cause harm. However, that explanation did not convince everyone. Critics argued that the number of allegations made it difficult to dismiss the incidents as simple misunderstandings, and public opinion shifted dramatically. While many people believe Cuba's own actions led to the decline of his career, Cuba has consistently maintained that the full story is far more complicated than it appears. Cuba Gooding Jr. has also argued that race played a role in how his situation unfolded. He has said he believes Hollywood was less willing to forgive him than it has been with some white actors who have faced their own public controversies. That claim has fueled ongoing debate about fairness, accountability, and double standards within the entertainment industry. Those discussions have also been echoed by other celebrities. Public figures including Cat Williams and Kanye West have criticized what they describe as powerful forces within the entertainment business. During one interview, Cat Williams was asked directly about Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, celebrities wearing dresses in movies.
Than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him.
And even claims involving the so-called Illuminati, setting up another controversial conversation. Cat Williams didn't stop there. He went on to argue that, in his view, speaking out against powerful interests can come with serious consequences. According to Cat, people who challenge influential figures shouldn't expect the backlash to end quickly. To make his point, Cat used a vivid analogy. He compared it to disturbing a hornet's nest, saying that once you do, the stings just keep coming. He added that he didn't fully realize how intense that kind of backlash could become until he experienced it himself, a claim that has continued to spark debate among fans and critics alike. Kanye West has made similar claims about the entertainment industry. Over the years, he has said he believes he was targeted after speaking out against what he describes as powerful figures operating behind the scenes in Hollywood. Those statements have drawn widespread attention while also being heavily disputed and criticized. Kanye has also pointed to text messages he shared publicly involving his former trainer, Harley Pasternak, arguing they supported his concerns. The messages generated significant online discussion at the time, with supporters and critics reaching very different conclusions before public attention eventually shifted elsewhere. The bigger question isn't simply whether Cuba Gooding Jr. later faced allegations. Those allegations are separate matters, and viewers will continue to have different opinions about them. What has fueled debate is Cuba's own claim that, after he began making his own career decisions and speaking about his experiences in Hollywood, everything seemed to change. Others, including his brother Omar Gooding, have shared similar views, while many critics strongly disagree and point to other explanations for his career's decline. Whether those events are connected or merely a coincidence remains a matter of public debate. As with many Hollywood stories, there are competing narratives, unanswered questions, and plenty of opinions, but not everyone reaches the same conclusion. Now it's your turn. Do you think Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career fell apart because of his own choices, or do you believe there were bigger forces at work behind the scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more Hollywood investigations and celebrity stories, and share this video with anyone who wants the full picture. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.